You know that feeling when you walk into a boardroom, ready to nail a presentation, and suddenly you are just staring at this tangled nest of cables?
Oh, yeah. And like 3 different remotes.
Exactly. And a screen that stubbornly says, no signal. I mean, it is the universal nightmare. So today's deep dive is into a technical product page from HDTV Supply. We are looking at a piece of hardware that basically hides an invisible IT guy right inside your drywall.
Right. The Intelix AS-1H1V-WP-W auto switching wall plate.
Yeah, that's the one. Let's unpack how this unassuming little plate secretly solves all those, classic presentation glitches. So physically, what are we dealing with here?
Well, physically, it really just looks like a standard double-wide rectangular light switch box, what the AV world calls a two-gang Decora-style wall plate. And it accepts modern HDMI, but it also has a legacy VGA port.
Okay, wait, VGA.
Yeah, and the cool part is the wall plate doesn't just pass that older analog VGA signal through. It actually actively scales it up to a really crisp 1920 by 1200 resolution.
Wow, okay. Which means a 10-year-old laptop still looks sharp on a modern display. But the real draw here, I mean, for me at least, is the auto switching feature. Because you walk in, you plug in your device, and it just takes over. How does it know?
So it's constantly monitoring the physical connection for a voltage change. When you plug in an active HDMI cable, it senses the 5-volt power pin on that cable. The device registers that voltage spike and then just immediately locks onto that input.
Oh, I see.
And if 2 devices are plugged in at the exact same time, it uses a strict last-in rule. It just prioritizes the newest connection.
So it's less of a traffic cop gently directing lanes and more like, I guess, a digital jukebox. Like if someone plugs in a new device, it immediately skips the current track and plays a new one.
That is a perfect way to look at it.
But hold on, let me push back on this though. If it's constantly monitoring for that 5-volt signal, what happens if I'm presenting, my laptop goes to sleep for a minute and then it wakes back up? Does it hijack the presentation?
That is a really great catch. Because the last-in rule relies on that active voltage. A device waking from sleep pushes a fresh 5-volt signal to the pin. So yes, if another presenter's sleeping laptop suddenly wakes up to run, like a background update, it could potentially steal the screen as a hard override.
Wow. That's a fascinating quirk of relying on hardware logic. But okay, the last in rule solves the immediate input chaos at the table. Getting that video signal from the wall plate to a projector mounted on the ceiling of a massive conference center, that introduces a physics problem. A standard HDMI cable degrades after just 15 feet.
Which is exactly why this device utilizes HDTV technology. Instead of trying to push a super fragile HDMI signal across a massive room, the wall plate acts as a transmitter. It basically repackages the high bandwidth video and audio data so it can travel over standard, really inexpensive Category 5E networking cable.
Wait, really? And how far does that get us?
This extends that pristine digital signal up to 70 meters, so about 229 feet.
Pushing full-resolution video 229 feet over a cheap Cat5 cable is wild. But getting the signal to the screen is only half the battle. You still have to wake the projector up. Looking at the specs, it features RS-232 display control. Does that mean the wall plate actually sends the power on command itself?
It is, yeah. Through the Intelix software, you program the display manufacturer's specific text-based command strings directly into the wall plate's memory. So when it detects that 5-volt video signal we talked about, it sends that text command down a serial cable to the display's brain, basically waking it up like a digital alarm clock.
That is so smart. And it works in reverse, too. The specs note it goes into a low-power standby mode and powers down the display after 30 minutes of inactivity. The hidden economic value here is massive. For a device priced at, what, $494.45, you completely eliminate the need for expensive third-party control systems.
Yeah, by centralizing the logic right into the physical connection point, you remove the most common points of failure like lost remotes, dead batteries, confused users. You're replacing a complex web of AV infrastructure with intelligent automated hardware.
So, what does this all mean for you? Whether you are outfitting a university classroom, a boardroom, or you're just tired of user confusion, this tech proves a crucial point. The very best infrastructure is the kind you don't even realize is working.
Absolutely. We are rapidly moving toward environments that don't need instructions, They simply react to our presence and our tools.
Right. Which leaves you with a final thought to ponder. If a simple wall plate can intelligently manage our physical connections, power states, and displays based on a simple voltage spike, how long until every standard outlet and switch in our offices learns to anticipate our entire workflow before we even push a button? That invisible IT guy might be moving into every wall of the building.